And Chris has a paddle.
How's it going, guys? This is my mate Chris, who I crossed the Simo with last year. I've talked about it a bit. And this is his WR250R and my third modified episode. So we're going to get into this one. This has got quite a lot of unique little mods in that as well that I've stolen some things from. We're down here at Beachport today. We just had a pretty hard ride in the sand. And yeah, let's get into it. What have you actually got on the front?
Under here I used to have a fender stiffener, hence the 3 holes here, which running tubes on the top there, and got a couple of tie downs. Got this grab loop for
the Kriega, same as mine.
Yeah, for hiking up the hills.
This is your second one.
Second one.
I'm going for the first.
That's right. Gone with the screens for bikes, and gone with the toughened one, which comes in glass, but they do get scratched up. I guess the other main mod up front is the suspension. The Simo I have the Teknics applied.
Plug the Teknics.
Yeah.
I think every WR250 either has stock suspension or Teknics.
Yeah, it's the rebound is a big problem. They're not designed for the weight that you carry across the Simpson, and particularly on the rear. The rebound's pretty bad on the stock. So having that just helped the effort to get across the Simpson.
Yeah. These lights are just eBay specials.
Yeah, from you. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, that was a present, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We haven't gone night riding yet.
No.
A lot. Oh yeah, this is during the thing. They went on it, were they?
Yeah, but then I think Sam got in the switch and it wasn't quite working.
Okay,
they've got an angel eye that's blue and then main auxiliary beam.
Yeah, they look good.
Red beam.
And you've got these little flares on your bike buses. So you have the same jets as mine, but mine are white. But then you have this extra.
No, I swapped. Yeah, no, I swapped out the jet. The jets all ended up getting cracked, so I bought these ones, and I got these little extended pieces with them. Just helps with the wind and stuff because I use it for commuting.
I think it's pretty cool idea just to get that a little bit more, because usually it does hit the knuckles, especially if you lower them down a bit. They don't actually protect that much.
And this is really, the Bartbuster is this position here for the light is really good. I mean, I've had a few stacks today, and these lights have pretty much survived. Anywhere else on the bike, they seem to peel off and break. It's only if you go head first into the bush that these will get damaged. But this is a real good place to put auxiliary lights. And got these.
Your next, Ryan.
I got these little. These are cheap eBay special $15 foldy mirrors.
These are like a copy of the Touratech ones or something. I think Cornet's one, the 500 modified I did the last. You've got the Touratech, the same thing. I kind of like them. I've got the round mounts. Yeah. And obviously you have to hold it, unscrew, screw, move. Whereas this is kind of nice because you just set that one position and it's just that one action to get them down, right?
I go through a few of these. Since broke one today. So hence $15. That's all right. They're all right. They fold away, and you can get them underneath this the brake line. Yeah. All right. So stock the WR doesn't come with the Tacho. You can put it in diagnosis mode to see the RPM, but I'm old school, so I got this little TTO thing, and gives you your RPM there. Here's my 3-way switch for the auxiliary lights. And just mounted it off the mirror bracket like that, fabricated that up.
And what's this here? This like belt thing?
This? Oh, this is just emergency, this is just paracord, it's just emergency stuff in case you end up down a banking and you've got to try and hike it up, and you know, it just gives, you know, you get 2 or 3 people on a piece of paracord onto the Kriega strap at the front and pull it up, but never had to use it.
And you usually mount off that RAM mount there your tablet GPS, right?
Yeah, I've got a little one of those X mounts, and it's got a little Samsung, I think it's a Samsung Note 7.
A7 or something?
Oh, A7, yeah. But I've been through a couple of those. One took a dunking and then froze overnight, which broke it. And then just the other day, the second one that I got, the GPS chip stopped working in it. But they're cheap, they're like 150 bucks, and you can run HEMA maps on them and just plug it in here. I've got the QC3 USB, but it's also got a voltage readout here. So I also like to see the...
Is that an eBay as well?
It was an eBay, yeah. They're a bit hard to come by to ones to get the QC3 and the voltage readout, but yeah, that's a good little jigger.
Alright, coming to the middle of the bike now, you've gone a different way to what I did. I mean, I went with the 18 litre IMS, which has now started leaking on me, which is awesome. Hopefully I can get, well, I mean, I will get warranty on that. Yeah. But you've gone with the Safari 14 litre, which Safari is an Australian brand.
It is Aqualine in the US, I think it's called.
Aqualine, okay. Yeah. This is, you see this on a lot of WR250Rs, right? They're a nice size and they fit the bike quite well. They still keep it quite small. My IMS, when I ride it, kind of gives me the impression it's a bigger bike because the wings do come out quite a lot more for that 4 extra litres.
Yeah, when you do put these tanks up front, you do notice, you know, your knees are a bit further out and stuff, and it's not the same as riding it with the stock tank. It takes a little bit of getting used to. I've got to put these rubber pads that are a bit grippy here, so I can actually lock into it a little bit better, but it's really hard to get some adhesive that'll stick to this.
Yes, this is not your first go.
No, you have to keep re-sticking. These tanks, they breathe, which means that they leak
petrol.
The vapour, and that disintegrates any of the glue or stickers that you can put on them. But and just recently, you know, it's not without a few issues. The lift pump works off the vacuum off the intake. It's got like a little pulse pump, and it doesn't seem to be working, so it's not sucking from the wings of the tubes and dumping on the main.
But I mean, that also happened on the Simpson crossing, right? When we were coming back in, I think you couldn't get that last litre. Simpson, but I think it was on the Otways adventure ride that it happened again.
Yeah, so I think they say that, you know, if you get the fuel with the alcohol in it, that can damage the little membrane that's in them and stuff. Anyway, I've got a couple of spare ones, so it just needs the tank emptying and the main fuel pump taken out and fitting.
And you've got the normal, obviously, one-way valve, when it tips.
Yeah, it doesn't
really work.
Yeah, it's gone over a few times today and it's been leaking out of that, so not great. So I think maybe the better thing is a bit of fuel line that
just
bring around. Yeah.
So I think it's the same radio guard as me, and I can also see you've got one of those little thermometer tabs.
Yeah,
that actually works. You got them on the suspension as well.
I put them on the suspension, but to be honest, the idea was to see how hot things were getting, like the radiator, the case, and the actual front forks. But they haven't been too great, to be honest. They're just like a little liquid crystal thermometer. You can buy them from GYTR or RC online. But to be honest, I put them on there because I wanted to just, you know, see if the oil in the forks was getting too hot or what it was running at. But yeah. Haven't really used them.
Fair enough. Okay, you got a seats concept.
Yeah, this is a good mod.
Yeah, it is. Yours is different than mine. Yours is a lot more comfortable, a lot wider. I'm not sure if there's a difference in the years, but.
Oh really?
You've got these ripples. I don't.
Oh.
Mine's like a carbon fibre, and you've got the blue, the two-tone. I'm not sure, but.
Yeah.
It's a lot comfier than mine.
Well, I just bought the foam and the cover,
yeah,
and then you just get an air gun stapler, and you can do that upholstery yourself.
Yeah.
And you know, it's a saver over the stock seat. You can do much longer rides with this sort of setup.
Yeah.
Don't get a fucking arse hurting with using this seat compared to the original one.
Yeah. And you've got the same Stegs as I do.
Yeah.
And you made them yourself, and I made mine, but the same template.
Yep. That's right.
That you can find online.
So that with the
gripper.
The gripper here and some gripper there. The idea was you need a crowbar to get me off the bike, but no, I still fall off quite often. So, but it does help you. It does help you lock in. And I think this, you know, this is probably due for renewal now. But this is just a bit of rubber, and underneath there, that's like the tread step tape that you see on stairs. Right. It's just like a grip paper. Yeah. That it, you know, it's not going to do your boots or leather boots any favours, but it helps you lock in on the bike.
Yeah, well, I think that's pretty much it for the centre of the bike. Not really that much else going on. You can go to the back.
Let's go to the back. Okay.
Alright, so our back, you have a, what's this, the Nomad Rack? I think it's the same as what I have.
Yep, Nomad Rack. Yeah. It's quite shaped for the tail of the bike.
Attaches to the subframe with the 4 screws there. I think it's like a 10 kilogram max weight.
Oh, it's been more on that, but it's held up well. $90.
And it's a good size as well. It's not one of those oversized where it comes over the plastics. Yeah. It's right in shape of the bike, so that's why I also got it. I like it. It's just small and compact.
It's been a fit and forget. Haven't had any problems with that. Yeah, that's been a good investment.
And you're running, what exhaust are you running? You're running a Yamaha.
I am. I'm running the GYTR exhaust. There's a couple of reasons I picked this one. One is that in Australia we have the oxy bung sensor down here, and that was good insurance for me because I didn't want to be leaning the bike out too much or messing around with programmers. And the other thing is that the GYTR also fits the stock heat shield here, so often when we go away camping we have a loop bag or pannier saddle bags here and just helps prevent it melting out there. And it's pretty good. Sounds good.
Comes with a baffle as well. Does it?
No, it doesn't. There was an event where someone tried to take out the baffle and ended up losing the rear retaining ring and all the
stuff inside coming out. Packing,
yeah. Let's take that out and see if it makes it louder. And ended up getting lost on the ride. And I think these are actually made by DRB in the States, and they just rebranded GYTR. But
yeah, they sound good. They're pretty loud, to be honest.
Yeah. And then the back here is just the tail tidy. That's another good mod.
Stock indicators, but just the tail actual. Because mine I have the modified. I have different indicators. I got those flexi ones.
Oh yeah.
But mine's just a different tail tidy. But this is good. This is.
Perhaps when these get broken, you know, there might be different indicators on there, but they've held up well.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, and
crazy.
Yeah, that's the stock tail light assembly and stuff with the number plate. It's quite prominent here at the back, so
this a bit too much.
Yeah, putting a tail tidy on it, it's actually probably helped it not get broken. You know, the stock one would have taken a pounding and fallen off by now, I would have thought.
That's for sure. Okay, so that's it kind of for the back, but you do have a lot of little hidden things, right? You've got metal cable ties tied to the side of the subframe there.
Yep, and plastic ones on this side. Yeah, the metal ones are good, just if you need to retain a heat component like the exhaust or whatever.
What other little things you got hidden?
I usually have, don't have them at the moment, usually have a couple of levers, brake lever, push lever, zip tied to the front beam there. Behind here there's a coil pack. There's also some of that metal glue.
What is it attached to?
Just zip tied, just in a bag to keep it dry.
Zip tied to what?
Oh, there's a frame.
I can show you here.
Yeah. Alright. And then under here I've got the spark plug, lean angle sensor.
Shoved in between all the other electronics, just sitting there. Yeah. Okay.
Don't know what else. Oh, an injector, but that's in the box at the moment. But that normally sits under there
as well.
Yeah, but don't really have heard of a lot of problems with injectors on these bikes.
But they're so small and you can just carry, right?
Yeah, so storing all the stuff under here and finding places where you can hide stuff is always good. Because you never know when you're going to need it. I've toyed with the idea of having a second set of cables running through.
Yeah, just keep them there.
Yeah. But
I mean, on the longer rides, I mean that's something that you can think about, right? But I mean, day to day.
Yeah, look, if you're going somewhere that you're not going to be easy to get out of, or
like the Simpson.
Yeah, that's right.
If you carry it.
I mean, we carried clutch plates, a spare fuel pump,
Everything.
and like a regulator.
Because we had the 2 WRs, we could kind of divide and conquer with, or any of the spares, right? I carried half, you carried half, even the cooking gear.
Yep.
That's one of the benefits of having the same bike on a long trip like that. All right, well, let's go down under and see what you're running. You got a few other extra bits in that. Yeah, let's take a look at that. Alright, so down under, you've got the same Shark disc protector.
This thing?
Yeah, I think that's just Evo as well. Blue Yamaha.
Yeah, worth getting. Easy
It's
to fit.
cheap and easy to fit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, why not?
I got these slightly bigger spacer blocks. They're good because you can actually push the axle further rearwards. That's great for sand riding. The more rear that
wheelbase.
Yeah. The more rear that you can get that rear tyre, the better.
Yeah.
So they were a little mod.
You're running pivot pegs.
I am.
With
yeah.
some sort of rubber sock as well. I don't know if is that stock?
No, that was a service. I think I picked that up on the cheapie. I think it was like $10 or something. But the idea was to just keep the sand and the out of the grease. Yeah, but
how you find them? I mean, they're expensive. They're not a cheap mod.
Yeah, I like them. They're a bit controversial. Some people don't like them. So why would you want the bike moving underneath you like that? But I actually find them useful, especially when I'm sort of locked in and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I find them, especially over whoops and stuff like that. I actually like them.
And you've got what make batch plate is this?
That's a B&B as well.
A B&B? Ah, okay.
Yes.
The B&B made with the snake, brake snake?
Yeah. I guess the other side is I run a metal filter. It's a little Moose oil filter in there. So the idea behind that is if the water pump goes or you end up mixing your water coolant with your oil, the paper filters will just sort of collapse and disintegrate, whereas the metal one will keep you going even though your oil's a little bit contaminated with it, emulsified. So I run a metal filter, and it's easy. You just clean it out with Kero and let it dry off, and away you go again.
You also have the Scott's oiler on this.
I do. I do like oiling the chain because some people say you don't need to, but I do run a Scott's oiler, and I use this bike for commuting, and I know I can actually hear when the chain's dry, and with a low power bike you can actually feel the difference between a well-lubed chain and not. So, and for the oil, I actually just use the old engine oil. So whatever I take out of the bike,
you just put straight in
goes in the Scott's oiler. Yeah. And just let it drip on there. And then what I've got here on this side is just extended the chain guards, because you do get a bit of splatter.
So what rubber? What is that?
It's just plastic, just a thin sheet plastic, and it's just riveted there onto the.
Yeah, I like that because it's also like quite malleable, right? So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I know with the biggest sprocket, at least for me when I ran the biggest sprocket, I had to cut back the guard.
Oh really?
Because the chain actually started hitting the guard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway.
What else? Run rim locks.
Running rear.
Yep.
And you've got the little special valve caps. You've got me onto that. Go to Autobahn and buy them. They've got the valve core extractor.
Yeah, I think the base slime.
Yeah.
They sell them as a pack of
cheap,
4.
handy thing. You don't have to carry an extra one in your toolkit. Just have them on both of your rims. They're pretty awesome. I like that. But I mean, other than that, this thing has a lot of stuff on it. How many Ks has it done now?
I think 35.
35,000. Yeah. All right. Alright, so definitely when I first met you on that ride way back when.
Avon track.
Avon, classic, Avon classic.
Yeah.
I remember riding past you back then. I still had a DR650, and I remember riding past you and I thought to myself, shit, this is going to be a hard ride. This guy's on some 450 WR. You had motocross gear on, everything motocross gear, and I'm there with like cheap adventure gear. And then you told me, it's a 250, but I always thought your bike was so heavily modified. I mean, back then my DR had nothing on it, and so leading into that, what are the first 3 things you'd do now on a WR250R or any adventure bike in general? Your first 3 mods considering everything you have on this one.
So, we used to call them farkles.
Farkles.
Farkles, a bit of modifications you did to your bike. Look, if you're going adventure riding, you want a bit of range there. I mean, you can go with auxiliary tanks or whatever. I think Camel tank do one that's $600. You could go with canvas bags like I did on the Simpson and some just normal jerry cans in there. Yeah. But the thing is, you know, if you want to go the range, something like that, or bigger tank up front. Yeah. So you got the IMS and you got this Safari. Your two options. I'm not aware of any others.
Because this one will give you about 300. Just over
it does, yeah. Look, they're good bikes. They do like 4 litres to 100 usually. So
it's easy to get over 300.
And that's the thing, you know, fuel efficiency, carry less weight.
Yeah, you can everything's easier.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons I got this bike, because it was very forgiving. You can get it crossed up any which way on dirt roads, and you can recover it. And it's a good way to improve your confidence and improve your skill. So
okay, alright. So that's your third. What are 2 others? First,
so extended range. You know, it's a pretty tough tank. It's taken some spills and drills. It's mounted on rubber mount, so it does move a little bit. Yeah, has a bit of give in it. Exhaust is a good mod. It's a good feel, good factor. I mean, the stock exhaust comes with an X-up butterfly valve in it and stuff like that. So just getting a nicer sound in the exhaust.
There's a lot. The weight. The weight is a big difference as well.
But it's a feel-good factor as well. And, you know. And also, you know, I use it for commuting, and it means that the cars hear me and don't change lanes on me.
Yeah, that's
so I like that. And for me, I like the Scott Oilers, to be honest. I do Scott Oilers.
Oh, the Scott Oiler?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know that noise when a chain's dry and running. Yeah. You know, I have mechanical sympathy for a lot of my machines, and
you do.
So I like to keep things purring along.
Yeah.
So I like the Scott Oilers. I think is it Nemo do one as well or something like that? The little one that mounts up here on the. Some of the alternate ones.
You turn the thing and.
But look, I don't oil it when I'm riding dirt. I run dry chain, but day to day, I keep a well-oiled chain, and the Scott Oiler is a good way to do that.
Yeah, fair enough. You got any other mods, future mods, that you can think of? I don't know if you can really put anything else on this, but
future mods. No, nothing I can think of at the moment. You know.
How about steering dampener? After this weekend,
yeah, look, by and large it handles alright in the sand, but yeah, some of the deep stuff this weekend, it's been doing a bit of head shaking.
Yeah.
But, you know, the only dampener you can get for this bike is the Scott Swamp. I mean, that's $700.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Not cheap, no. But it's a possibility.
Yeah. Alright, well, thanks for showing us your bike. Appreciate it. And tomorrow, hopefully, with the paddle on the bike. I mean, we haven't mentioned it, but
can't talk about that.
There's a massive bloody paddle on his bike. So
the funk.
Hopefully, the beach ball video, there'll be some good footage of that, of Chris smashing it in the dunes with his paddle.
Yeah.
So I look forward to that video as well. But thanks for watching, guys. Awesome.